In this video, I'm I'm going to try to explain things that I really can't explain. And I really wish that you guys could just go inside my mind for a day and see things the way I see them. And it would be much easier than just trying to explain things that it's hard to explain due to the wordage, due to the fact that one thing can mean 10 different things, and due to the fact there's not enough language to express this properly. So, but before I get into that, I don't want anyone watching these videos thinking that I'm talking directly to them. Um, I feel like in that video yesterday, I don't want you guys to make the assumption that I believe that you're falling into this category. It's just that I don't know who's going to stumble across these videos. So I need to, it's a very broad stroke, what I said yesterday. So please don't take this as me like being preachy, because I really don't want you guys to think that. It's just I'm really trying to wake you up. But also, there's something that I have noticed that I think is a crazy coincidence. I have I've made the claim that everyone is you. Like, it's just I'm just you talking to you, right? So even though that's true, you will notice that you will see yourself in other people. It'll be like a split of your personality that's amplified more, or a more extreme version of something in you, but you can see it in other people. Now, there's been 4 people that I'm also going to give a shout out to in this video, here in a second, obviously, that are exactly like me. Like, I can't explain it. They are exactly like me. Their thought process, their personality, their the way they view things, the way they can process things, the way that the wordage even. So I'm gonna give a shout out to those people. Luca, my brother, I love you to death. Lucas, love you to death, brother. Sean, love you to death. Also, go check out Sean's YouTube, Rounded Edges. I'll link it below. And the fourth person, which I owe an apology to, is Soul Mechanics. Go check him out as well. I'll link his channel below. Right below my PayPal. Donate if you feel it in your heart. I owe Soul Mechanics an apology on many levels. Even though I think he owes me an apology on many levels, this is something we need to talk about. Um, I made him out to be a bad guy when he wasn't. I didn't understand it fully. So now that I understand it fully, I do want to apologize wholeheartedly, because I understand your frustration now. Because it sucks understanding things on a deeper level and sitting back and watching people lie to themselves and claim this is something it's not. So I'm truly sorry. Like, I want you to fully understand that. I'm sorry for not hearing you out, for jumping to conclusions and calling you a snake oil salesman. Like, truly, I'm truly sorry for that. But me and you need to have a dialogue, like a real dialogue. So now I'm going to get into explaining this, and then I'm also going to go into other things here as well. So the way this is set up, I need you to understand this. Like, this is set up in such a way that no matter what, okay, I'm going to give you examples, because it'd be easier for me to give you examples and then explain it further going after that. So psychedelics, this is a very good example to show you that this is set up in such a way that you literally have to lose your mind and go against this whole place to break through or break out or wake up. So psychedelics is a great example, because from a very young age, you will have noticed people have, for the most part, have talked about psychedelics in a negative way. It'll make you go crazy. You see things that aren't really there. It can make you suicidal. It could, people has crazy things can happen on LSD or psilocybin or DMT. So this is ingrained into you and you believe it. So then when you start having these experiences, I don't even want to say you believe it. It's just that it's ingrained into you, just like everything here. So you take psychedelics, and then let's just say you have a mystical experience, or you get a message delivered to you, or something in this nature. Now, when you have that happen, that's the realest thing that's ever happened. And then when someone tells you that well, that's merely just a hallucination due to a chemical interacting with your brain, you fully understand that's a bunch of bullshit. But then it's so ingrained and pushed on you that you question this. Like, you question, am I going crazy? Like, did I really just eat some mushrooms or take some LSD and this chemical reacted with my brain and I saw hallucinations and heard auditory hallucinations and was just experiencing something that was not real? So you question this. And then you think, and then like this is something you got to question deeply to come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, that's just fucking, that's a trap right there. So then you notice a trap like that, then you see the trap in everything. Because the way I've explained society to you at its current function and stage in this reality is it's set up in a way that you are indoctrinated at the age of 5, and they expect you to stay in that phase until 65, until you retire. And then if you explain to people that that is crazy, like this, the system should not be structured like that, and then you go into detail explaining why, and you bring up the military, you bring up the fact that we're sending money for crazy stuff, the fact that we're spending all this money for things that we don't need to, like prisons, like, I mean, dude, I could give you a list. And then people will tell you, well, it has to be this way, and this is why it has to be this way, and you can't trust other countries, and they're going to attack us. And it's like, well, have you, maybe we could just try to work things out. That would be great. And maybe we could figure something out with this system you're bitching and complaining about, but you still defend when it comes down to it. So it's kind of like it makes you question if you're wrong about things. It's like, well, am I crazy, or is the majority of these people crazy? And that's something else you will notice that's pushed on you too. Like, well, is it me, or is the whole world the problem, or am I the problem? And you can come to a conclusion pretty, I don't want to say quickly, but you can come to the conclusion on what the problem is. I'm not saying you're not a part of the problem, because your outlook and perspective and the way you looked at yourself, other people in the world, was a huge problem. But once you took responsibility and fixed your issue of being the problem, you quickly realize, oh, it's the system that's the problem. It's not even other people. It's this system that's brainwashing people and indoctrinating it in to them. So that's another example of how you got to go against things. And there's so many examples in my mind that's flashing in front of me. I wish you could see them. But another one, for an example, is so the end of days, the apocalypse, heaven on earth. I've been told this my whole life by people. I've been told this by my grandmother. I've been told this by my mom, aunts, great aunts. And then you hear the stories of, well, people's been saying this for hundreds of years. So then it makes you question, well, man, maybe I'm just grasping onto something, and I'm delusional to think we can pull heaven off for 1,000 years and we can get out of here without a real death. But then then you start pushing through and seeing through it, and you're like, oh, this is set up to make you doubt and to try to keep you stuck in here longer. So essentially, what I'm trying to explain to you is, you, no matter what you want to believe, no matter what, like this can go from a Big Bang evolution to a God in the sky to a simulation to, I mean, you name it. There will be evidence to support this theory, and there will also be the equal amount of evidence to disprove this theory. So the real question is, when are you going to fully realize it's you? Like, whatever you say, there will be evidence to support that. So you have to break through. Essentially, it comes down to this: follow your heart and your intuition. Where does that lead you? And then once you get on that path, you need to stay on that path and not back down. And this brings up another thing I would like to talk about is keeping an open mind. Now, I'm a huge believer in keeping an open mind. Like, dude, you have to keep an open mind. Like, you have to. But my question is, when does it become a problem of you're denying the truth? See, this is something I'm struggling with because it feels like I've been presented the truth so many times that I would be crazy, and not a good kind of crazy either, to doubt this at this point. But I also think you should keep an open mind. So at what point do you say, all right, I'm just going to accept the truth? Because it's like that old saying, the truth never denied the seeker. It's the seeker that denied the truth. And at what point do you want to say, yeah, I'm denying the truth by letting my mind point fingers where they shouldn't be pointed, and it's fully imagination and an illusion? See, when does that come into effect? Because I feel like there has to be a line drawn at a certain point. But my thing is, man, I feel like I'm missing something. Like, I really thought about this last night. Like, I feel like there's something deeper here that I'm missing, or that we're missing. I feel like there's something really valuable and deep here, and we are like looking it right in the face, but we don't see it. This is a beautiful example my brother Lucas said. He said it's like you're standing on a pot of gold, and you don't realize you're standing on the pot of gold because you're standing on it. So I feel like this is the case. I do. I feel like this is the case. And I don't know what I'm missing. I'm not going to let it consume me, but it's irks me a little. And I'd also like to, I don't want to apologize for that video I made yesterday because it was my true feelings. But I also don't want you guys to watch that video and then you're like, this dude's bipolar or some shit, because he makes all these videos talking about how this is like this, and then something amazing is going to happen, and talks about living a better life, and then has a breakdown like that. But it's part of the process. Like, you have to get out all these emotions and feelings. You have to purge them so you can make room for proper energy, proper energy. Put it that way. So 75% of the time I have my shit together. 25% of the time I do get angry. I do get sad. I do cry. I do have doubts. And I just have to work through it. So, what else was I going to say? I believe that might have been it. I think I had more planned for this video, but it slipped my mind, apparently. I don't know. I want to talk about Jesus for a second, because Jesus and Christ, this is something else I feel like I'm missing. Is, again, 95% of this is backstories, fabrication, bullshit. That's something else I'm doing. I'm so sorry for cussing that much. I watched that video back yesterday and I was repulsed at myself for cussing that much. I'm trying really hard not to cuss, but it's just like language to me. It's like I don't really think about it. I don't intentionally do it. It's just, I understand and realize, like, if I'm passionate about something, or I'm angry or something like that, or sad, I cuss a lot. So I'm trying not to. So this is something I feel like I'm missing. Even though it's bullshit backstories. There's something up with Christ. Like, there's something up, because you can find truth in the Bible, you can find truth in the Quran, you can find truth in the, I don't even know how to say it, and I'm not going to, Bhagavad Gita. I don't know. I'll tell you someone else that I would recommend is Rumi, R-U-M-I, a great poet. He was actually the one that inspired me to do poetry. So, but there's something up with Christ, and I cannot put my finger on it. Because listen, like Jesus supposedly said, the only way to the Father is through me, or So when I fully got to the Father, it was when I asked for Christ consciousness to come into my heart. Now, again, don't correlate me saying this with the religion of Christianity, but what I'm saying is, man, there's something deep within Christ, and I can't put my finger on it. And it's like ever since I asked for Christ to come into my heart, it's like something has grabbed a hold of my heart and is like trying to pull me out of the dark, deep mud, out of the trenches. And I question this in my mind, like, dude, because I'm obsessed with Jesus. I don't know if you guys noticed this, and I don't think it's a good thing either. Because I question, like, man, what if that is Jesus doing this for you, and you're just saying he's not real and all this stuff? Like, that would suck. Because I feel like, dude, I respect Jesus a lot if he was real. I really don't believe he was. I wish, I mean, it would be great if he was, but it's like I respect this man so much, and he's one. I do not like putting people on a pedestal and like showing them, looking up to them that much. But how can you not with this man? It's like the dude was a fucking saint. So part of me is like, dude, what if you're denying Jesus and this man actually is doing this for you, and you just don't want to accept it or admit it? But then a bigger part of me is like, brother, that is one of the biggest traps you're going to fall into. Like, you can appreciate Jesus, but even if Jesus was real and he was whatever, do you think he would want you to worship him? Or do you think he would say exactly what you're saying? Don't put me up on a pedestal. Like, just let me help you. Like, there's no need to call me a Lord and Savior or anything, or a prophet or anything. Messiah, just let me help you. That's all I'm trying to do. I feel like he would say that. I feel like he would, if he was real and he was standing right in front of me right now, I feel like he'd look me in the eye and say, do not worship me. Do not even look up to me like that. Just use my example and build upon it. I really do feel like that. So, and this is where I'm conflicted at, because there's something up with Christ, and that Jesus story is so beautiful. And Jesus was, again, a damn saint if he was real, which I just don't believe. It's so seductive, and I understand it's a trap that sucks you in, and it just reinforces itself, because I don't want to say it's a feel-good story because of the way it ended, but if you can read the story actually, it is a feel-good story. It's an amazing story. So, I don't know, like, I don't want anyone to hear this and think I'm on this Jesus train, because I'm absolutely not. It's just I think about that sometimes, and that's something I really need to get clear in my own mind, because I can't have mixed beliefs on this, especially when something's riding on it like this. But so Christ, there's something real with Christ, and I don't think it correlates just with Jesus either. Like, I think if Jesus was real, I don't think he was Christ. I think Christ was in Jesus, if that makes sense to you. So there's a couple things I've not figured out that I would love to, but it's not. I don't think it's really that important, even though it may be. Is there's something up with Christ consciousness? I can't figure that out fully. And there's something up with psychedelics that I cannot figure out fully. And there's something we're missing. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure we're missing something. It's like so close to our face that we can't see it because it's so close to our face. I feel like we went from focusing on one piece of the puzzle too much to zooming out and trying to see the big picture too much. And we've zoomed out to a point to where it's not legible. It's not really that legible. So we need to crank this just a little, adjust it just a little, if that makes any sense at all. But I'm going to end this. It is a game of form and the play of life. I am you talking to you. I've always been you talking to you. I will always be you talking to you, because there's nothing but us telling ourselves stories. So, and I am going to go back to the old saying today. I love you dearly and deeply, with all my heart. Truly with all my heart. I'm going to advise you to just sit back, take care of yourself, focus on yourself, enjoy the show that's going on right now, because there is something beautiful going on right now. If you would just stop focusing on the negative, you could see the positive, which I'm not saying not to focus on negative, because you need to see the negative too. But, you can't see heaven if you're focused on hell. Just please realize that. So sit back and enjoy the show. Take your mask off. Please lift the curtains of the veil of this illusion. And let's wake up, brother, and enjoy paradise. It's right there. I told you, nothing's going to be given to you, but it will be placed so close to you. All you have to do is reach out and get it. So I'm just saying, reach out and get it. Open your heart. Lose this human mind. And let's go home. I don't know about you, but I'm homesick. I would love to go home. And by going home, I mean lifting the veil. So, love you.